Close your eyes and let the night carry you into a world of forgotten stories. Across deserts, rivers, and temples, ancient voices once whispered about sacred women, mothers, priestesses, goddesses, symbols of divine comfort and power. Tonight we journey slowly into their mysteries, not as historians but as dreamers, letting their symbols calm our minds, ease our hearts, and soften the edges of the day. Each chapter is a gentle step into their world, where the sacred feminine is not lost, but waiting to guide us back into peace. If these stories bring you calm, you may share your thoughts in the comments, or simply press subscribe, so more nights may carry you into rest. The night is quiet. A soft hush covers the world. Like a blanket of stars, silence drapes over the earth. You breathe gently, feeling the weight of the day fade into stillness. In this calm, a story begins. It rises not in words alone, but in images, soft as dreamlight, ancient as stone, long before temples were built, before towers and cities reached toward the sky. There was the mother. Her face was not one, but many. Her form was carved into clay, pressed into stone, etched into caves. She was round, full, and gentle. She was the womb of the earth. She was life itself. Close your eyes and imagine the first fires lit in the darkness, the small flicker of flame. Around it the people gather. They look at the soil, the trees, the animals that give them life. And in that mystery, they see her, the Great Mother, cradling them all. Her image appears in small statues, shaped by careful hands. The figures are simple yet full of meaning. Broad hips, swollen bellies, flowing curves, symbols of birth, symbols of food, symbols of shelter. The mother is not only a goddess, but the earth itself. Soft soil, flowing rivers, the endless sky. The air is cool in this memory. The ground smells of smoke and damp earth. Somewhere a child laughs. Somewhere a drum beats slowly, like a heartbeat. In the center of the gathering, the women place their offerings: seeds, water, milk, grain. All gifts return to the mother, for she is the one who gave them first. The Great Mother is more than a figure. She is the rhythm of the seasons. Spring blossoms from her hands. Summer ripens with her warmth. Autumn gathers the fruits of her labor. Winter rests in her arms. Always she is near. Always she gives. You walk slowly through this dreamscape of the past. The firelight flickers on the faces of the people. They speak in voices you cannot understand, yet you feel their meaning. Gratitude, wonder, love. They gaze at the statue in their circle, a tiny shape glowing in the firelight. It is enough. Enough to hold their faith, enough to calm their fears, enough to remind them that they are never alone. Listen now to the earth beneath your feet. It hums softly as if remembering. The soil has carried countless generations, yet its voice remains the same. It whispers of roots and rivers, of the warmth of the sun, of the night's cool embrace. All of this is her. The mother breathes in the soil. She breathes in the water. She breathes in your own chest. In caves painted with ochre and charcoal, symbols of her were drawn, circles within circles, spirals like shells and galaxies, marks that spoke without words. Life flows. Life returns. Life continues. The mother holds it all. The people knew no sharp edges of creed. No written scriptures bound them. Only the quiet awe of living. The newborn's cry. The hunter's return. The harvest of grain. The rains after drought. All was miracle. All was the mother's gift. A slow wind moves through the grass. It carries the scent of smoke, the echo of chanting voices, the soft rattling of seeds in a gourd. They sing to her, not with heavy words, but with tones that rise and fall like waves. Each note is a thread, weaving a blanket of sound to warm the night. The mother listens. Her ears are the trees, bending in the wind. Her eyes are the stars, watching with calm. Her hands are the rivers, flowing to the sea. Her heart is the moon, waxing and waning. Her body is the soil, and from her body all life grows. You drift further into this vision. Imagine a stone figurine resting in your palm. It is heavy and cool. The curves are worn smooth by time. Thousands of hands have touched it, offering prayers, seeking comfort. In its silence, it carries every voice. It carries every hope. The people see her not only in statues, but in the sky above them. When thunder rolls, they say it is her voice. When rain falls, it is her blessing. When the sun returns, it is her smile. When the moon glows, it is her lamp in the dark. Always present, always near. And in the silence of night, as you lie listening, the story of the mother does not end. It continues through time, through cultures, through countless names, In every tradition, her essence appears, as goddess, as saint, as queen of heaven. Yet beneath the names, she remains the same, a source of life, a cradle of care, an endless well of love. Let yourself rest in her presence now. Feel her arms as the air around you. Feel her heartbeat in the quiet rhythm of your own. There is no fear here, only safety, only belonging, only rest. The mother whispers, not in words, but in silence. A silence that comforts, a silence that heals. It tells you that you are part of the earth, never apart from it. It tells you that you are cherished, just as you are. It tells you that rest is holy. The fire in the distance burns low. The people curl beneath furs and skins. The statue rests beside the ashes. The stars glimmer like sparks above. And all around, the mother keeps watch. Over them, over you, over the endless night. Breathe gently and let her story soften you. The stone of her image endures. The soil of her body endures. The rhythm of her love endures. Even now, in your dreams, she watches. She blesses. She soothes. Drift deeper into stillness. Let the fire fade. Let the chants fall quiet. Let the earth cradle you, as the great mother once cradled the first child of the world. Now rest. Rest as the dawn waits beyond the horizon. Rest as the stars keep their gentle vigil. Rest in the arms of the mother who has always been and will always be. Let us drift onward into the next dream. The night deepens. The stars lean closer, shimmering like small lamps in the sky. A silver moon climbs slowly upward, its light spilling gently over quiet fields and ancient rivers. The air is cool and calm. Your breath follows its rhythm, slow, soft, steady. In this stillness, a vision unfolds. You find yourself standing before a great temple, its walls carved from pale stone, its steps bathed in moonlight. High above, the shining orb of the night casts its glow upon sacred towers. The temple belongs to the goddesses of old, Inanna, the radiant star of heaven, and Ishtar, the queen of love and of battle. Here, under the watch of the moon, their mysteries were kept. The people of Mesopotamia looked upward each night. The moon was a faithful companion, always returning, always guiding. They believed its light was more than light. It was a gentle hand from the heavens, a lamp for travelers, a guardian for sleepers, a mirror of the divine feminine. In its glow, the priestesses of the temple moved like silver shadows. Their steps were quiet upon the stone floors. Bare feet touched the earth with reverence. Their garments, woven of fine linen, flowed softly as they walked. In their hands they carried bowls of fragrant incense. The smoke rose in slow spirals, mingling with the night air, drifting upward as a prayer without words. Candles flickered in niches of the temple walls. The scent of cedar and myrrh filled the halls. The priestesses gathered in a circle, their voices lifting in song. The chant was low, a sound that vibrated through the stones themselves. Each word honored the goddesses, carrying devotion like a river carries light. Inanna was called the morning star, a goddess of beauty and desire. Yet she was also fierce, a warrior draped in shining armor. She held love and war in the same hand, for both are born of passion. Both shape the destiny of mortals. The priestesses sang of her courage, of her descent into the underworld, and of her rising again. A cycle like the moon, fading and returning, never lost, always reborn. Ishtar, too, was honored here. Her face was carved upon temple gates, her lions guarding the paths to holy places. She was the giver of life, and the fire in the heart. She was the blessing of harvest and the fury of the storm. The people turned to her for love, for strength, for justice. In her, the tenderness of a mother and the might of a warrior were one and the same. The priestesses bowed their heads. They touched the cool stone with their hands. They whispered prayers for the people, for health, for rain, for safe journeys, for the return of loved ones. Their voices rose and fell as if in rhythm with the breath of the night. The moon shone brighter, its silver beams pouring into the temple court, washing every face in light. You drift through the sacred halls, hearing soft echoes of footsteps, smelling the sweetness of smoke, seeing the shimmer of starlight upon polished stone. Symbols of the goddess mark the walls. The eight-pointed star of Inanna, the crescent moon of Ishtar. They gleam in the firelight, ancient signs of hope and protection. Outside, the city rests. Clay houses line the quiet streets. The river glides silently under the moon. Dogs bark faintly in the distance. But within the temple, the world feels timeless. Here, only the song matters. Here, only devotion breathes. The priestesses lift their arms. Their bracelets catch the light, ringing softly as they move. They sway as they chant, their shadows dancing upon the walls. The sound grows like a tide, filling the temple, rising toward the stars. Each note feels like a thread of silver, woven into the night sky, binding earth and heaven together. Imagine standing beneath that sound. Imagine the calm of knowing that the moon itself listens with you. Every breath of the wind, every sparkle of water, every beat of your heart echoes the rhythm of their song. And in that rhythm, the soul finds rest. Stories tell of Inanna's descent. She went down into the land of shadows, passing through 7 gates. At each gate, she laid down a piece of herself, her crown, her jewels, her garments, until she stood bare before the queen of the dead. There she remained, silent and still, until life called her back. She rose again like the moon returning from darkness, like seeds sprouting after rain. This story was told to remind all that loss is not the end, that even in deepest night, light waits to return. The priestesses told this tale with their chants, their dances, their silent offerings. They taught the people to trust in cycles of change, to honor both joy and sorrow, to know that even in moments of silence, the goddess remains. Look now at the sky. The moon glows round and full. It is the same moon the ancients saw, the same light that touched their temples. Its silver face reflects across the ages, bridging past and present, reminding every soul of its quiet guidance. The temple grows quiet again. The incense burns low. The chants fade into whispers. One by one, the priestesses place their offerings at the feet of the goddess. Jars of honey, bowls of milk, garlands of flowers, small figures of clay. Each gift is placed with care, with gratitude, with love. The night deepens. The stars drift slowly across the heavens. The priestesses close their eyes in rest, their faces calm in the silver light. The temple breathes in silence. The goddess remains, you too may rest in her light. The moon watches gently over you, as it has watched over countless dreamers. Its glow soothes your spirit. Its cycles remind you that nothing is lost, that every ending carries a return. The last smoke of incense curls into the air. The temple fades into shadow. The river flows onward, its surface gleaming like a path of stars. The night carries you softly, cradled in silver light. Now rest as the moon keeps her watch. Rest as the voices of the priestesses linger like distant lullabies. Rest, knowing that the goddess is near, gentle as moonlight, eternal as the night sky. Let us drift onward to the next dream. The night opens once more, like a curtain drawn across the sky. The air is cool, scented with the sweetness of river reeds. The water of the Nile glimmers in silver streams, reflecting the constellations above. Your breath slows as if following the gentle current, drifting, toward the ancient land of Egypt. Stone temples rise in the distance, their pillars tall as trees, their carvings glowing faintly in moonlight. Torches flicker along the pathways, casting golden halos upon painted walls. The quiet murmur of the river is joined by the low hum of chanting voices. It is a hymn for Isis, the mother, the queen of stars, the goddess whose love outlasts death itself. You move softly into this sacred space. The sky above is vast, a velvet cloth scattered with diamonds. To the Egyptians, the stars were not silent. They were voices of the eternal, guides across the great river of night. And at the center of this shining map was Isis, radiant and steadfast, holding the fragments of a broken god, holding the promise of life restored long ago. Osiris was betrayed, his body scattered across the land. Yet Isis did not despair. With gentle hands she searched. Through fields, through waters, through shadowed forests, she gathered every piece. She wept, yet her tears were rivers of devotion. She mourned, yet her mourning became prayer. Each fragment she cradled, as if it were still alive. Imagine her beneath the stars, her robes flowing like the night sky itself, her hair black as the deep Nile, her crown gleaming with the crescent moon. She bends beside the river's edge, lifting from the water what was lost. The stars above watch in silence, their light falling gently upon her face. Her love is patient. Her love is eternal. Her love brings the scattered whole again. Through this devotion, Osiris returned. Life flowed once more where death had claimed him. The people of Egypt saw in this story a truth written into the earth itself, that love endures beyond endings, that even in the stillness of the tomb, there is a whisper of rebirth. Priests sang to Isis in temples filled with incense. Their chants rose like wings in the air. Her statues gleamed with gold and lapis, her eyes painted with kohl, her arms outstretched in welcome. In their prayers she was called the Star of the Sea, the Lady of the Throne, the Mother of Magic. She was the protector of kings, the guardian of children, the healer of the broken. The Nile itself was said to follow her rhythm. Its floods brought life to the fields, grain to the hungry, hope to the weary. Farmers looked to the stars above, knowing that the rising of Sirius, the bright star of Isis, would mark the season of renewal. In the heavens and on earth, her signs were everywhere. Close your eyes and hear the sound of the river. Its waters move slow and steady. Each ripple carries memory. Each wave carries song. It is the voice of Isis herself, whispering to every soul, reminding them of the love that binds, the love that heals, the love that endures. The people told stories of her wings. Great wings, like those of a falcon, spread wide across the heavens. With these wings she sheltered the living. With these wings she fanned life back into Osiris. With these wings she guided souls through the long passage of night. And even now, when you gaze upon the stars, it is said her wings still shine, stretched across the sky, protecting every dreamer. Her son Horus was born of this love, the falcon-headed child of light, guardian of kings, he who would avenge his father. But to Isis he was not only a warrior, he was her child, cradled close to her breast, nursed beneath the gaze of stars. This tender image endured through ages. The divine mother and her child, a symbol of comfort, a symbol of eternal care. In painted tombs and temple walls, the figure of Isis appears again and again, sometimes kneeling beside Osiris, her hands raised in blessing, sometimes with her wings spread wide, sheltering the dead, sometimes as a mother holding her child in quiet love. Always, her presence is gentle, a reminder of love's endless reach. Feel her presence now, like cool water flowing through the night. She gathers every fragment of your weariness. She holds each piece of your being with care. Her hands are patient, her heart unbroken. She brings together what was scattered. She soothes what was wounded. She restores what was lost. Above, the stars turn slowly. The constellations glide across the sky. The same stars once watched Isis at the river's edge. The same stars guided ancient travelers across deserts. They glimmer now for you, soft lamps of eternity, reminders that you are never forgotten. Every star is a memory. Every star is a blessing. Every star is her light. The priests of old ended their hymns in silence. They allowed the last note to fade into the air like a feather drifting on the wind. So too this story softens now, like the Nile at dusk, like the sky before dawn. The temple doors close. The torches grow dim. Only the stars remain, watching with calm, keeping their gentle vigil. Rest in their glow. Rest in the arms of the Queen of Stars. Her love is without end. Her wings stretch across the heavens. Her river flows forever. Her light will guide you through dream, through shadow, through night, and into dawn. Now rest as the stars return. Rest as the river hums softly in the dark. Rest in the care of Isis, the mother, the queen, the eternal light. Let us drift onward to the next dream. Night gathers around the hills. A hush settles across the valleys of Anatolia. The air is warm and fragrant, carrying the faint sweetness of crushed herbs, the dry perfume of wild grasses. In the distance, the horizon glows faintly, not with the light of day, but with the memory of fire. You drift into this world gently, as if following a trail of lanterns. Each lantern is a star. Each star is a breath. They lead you toward a circle of women, their forms calm and graceful, their torches held high. They are the daughters of the sun. The ground beneath them is ancient earth, stone paths worn smooth by centuries of prayer. Above, the sky is a vast dome, a soft tapestry of midnight blue. The torches flicker in rhythm, their flames swaying with the breeze, their glow painting gentle halos upon the women's faces. The night listens to their steps. The night listens to their song. These women honor the goddess of the sun, the radiant mother who wakes the earth each morning. In Anatolia, she was called by many names, but always she was light, always she was warmth, always she was the protector of life. The daughters carried her fire into the dark, not to banish the night, but to remind the night of balance. Where shadow exists, light also waits. Where silence reigns, song may still rise. Close your eyes and hear the sound of their footsteps. Soft leather touching stone, a steady rhythm like a slow heartbeat, like the echo of a distant drum. Their voices rise low and tender. The song is not of words you need to know. It is the sound of comfort, a sound that carries through the stillness, like warm hands resting on your shoulders. The torches glow brighter as the women move together. Their flames are not wild, but calm and steady. Each flame is a prayer. Each flame is a promise. Together, the flames form a ring of firelight, a circle of protection beneath the stars. The daughters of the sun believe that fire holds memory. Each spark recalls the first dawn. Each flicker remembers the first breath of warmth that touched the newborn earth. And as the fire burns in their hands, they feel the presence of the goddess herself, watching through the embers, guiding them through the night. One woman steps forward. Her torch burns with a soft golden glow. She holds it high, and the others bow their heads. Her shadow stretches long across the stones, but her voice is gentle. She speaks not in command, but in blessing. Her words float into the dark air like feathers. Light protects. Light heals. Light remembers. The others lift their torches in answer. The flames bend and sway, as if bowing to the truth of her words. Their circle glows brighter, a crown of light in the night. From a distance, it looks as if the earth itself has grown a small sun upon its skin. The goddess they honor is the eternal flame of day. Her chariot of fire rises from the east, crosses the sky with majesty, and sinks gently into the west. But her spirit does not vanish with sunset. Her spirit lingers in the warmth of embers, in the glow of torches, in the hearts of her daughters. Even in the deepest night, her warmth can be found. You drift closer to their circle. The firelight kisses your skin, soft and golden. It feels safe here. It feels timeless. Every flicker of the flame is like a soft breath against your cheek. Every glow is like a lullaby sung without words. The daughters of the sun move slowly, their torches swaying in rhythm. The flames rise and fall like waves of light. Their dance is not hurried. It is calm, like the steady turning of the earth. Each step is a prayer. Each motion is a memory. They move in circles, just as the sun moves across the heavens. They turn, and the shadows turn with them. They walk, and the fire walks too. In their movement, the cycle of day and night is remembered. In their dance, the eternal return is honored. The hills around them echo softly. The night birds fall silent. Even the wind seems to pause as if listening. The torches crackle gently, their sparks rising upward, tiny stars joining the vast sky. Above, the heavens shimmer with constellations, each star a reminder of the goddess's crown. The sky is a mirror of their circle below. Flame above, flame below. Light unbroken, they tell stories through their song. Stories of when the sun first rose. Stories of when the earth was cold and light kissed it awake. Stories of fields ripening in golden waves, of rivers gleaming like molten bronze, of children laughing in the warmth of morning. Their voices carry these tales not as history, but as memory. Not as teaching, but as comfort. One story is of protection. They say the goddess spread her light like a cloak, shielding villages from harm. Her rays were swords to the unjust, yet soft blankets to the weary. Her warmth was both fire and embrace, her light both power and kindness. In her daughters, this balance still shines. Another story is of guidance. Travelers who lost their way in the dark looked to the torches of the women. From hilltops, they would see the faint glow of fire in the distance. It was enough. It was enough to steady their steps, to lead them home. So too, in spirit, her daughters remain guides. Guides of light, guides of warmth, guides of the heart. As the circle of women continues to move, their torches sway like fields of golden grain in a gentle wind. Their fire does not burn wildly. It does not scorch. It glows with patience like the sun at dawn. It glows with promise, like the sun at dusk. The goddess is with them in every breath. She is the spark in the flame. She is the warmth on their skin. She is the rhythm in their steps. Through them, her presence is never lost. Now imagine the fire in your own hands, a small torch, steady and warm. The flame does not harm you. It does not frighten you. It simply glows, a reminder of protection, a reminder of care. You carry it softly as they do, walking slowly through the quiet night. Each step eases the mind. Each glow eases the heart. The women slow their movement. The circle comes to stillness. Their torches are held steady, like stars caught in human hands. One by one, their voices soften. Their song fades to silence. Only the flames remain, crackling softly, breathing in the quiet air. The leader lowers her torch. The others follow. Together they press the ends of wood to stone, and gently they let the flames rest. One by one the torches dim. The light fades, but not into nothing. The memory of the fire lingers. It glows in the heart. It glows in the sky above. The sun, though hidden now, will always return. The women bow their heads. They fold their hands across their chests. The night accepts their offering. The stars above shine more brightly, as if answering the prayer of light. And now the circle is quiet. The torches rest. The song has ended, but the warmth remains. The protection remains. The memory remains. So rest beneath this ancient sky. Rest with the warmth of the fire still in your heart. Rest with the gentle promise of light's return. The daughters of the sun walk onward, their steps soft as dreams, their glow eternal. Now rest as the stars return. Rest as the hills grow still. Rest as the night carries you gently, flame to flame, breath to breath, dream to dream. Let us drift onward to the next dawn. The air is still around the sacred mountain. A soft veil of mist drifts across the stone paths, settling gently like a dream. The twilight lingers, not yet night, not yet day. The hills breathe in silence, and from deep within the earth, a whisper rises. You are carried along this quiet path, your steps soundless, your breath calm. Ahead, a temple glimmers with faint light, its marble pillars touched by the glow of fading sun. At its heart waits the oracle, the woman chosen to speak for Apollo. Through her, the unseen becomes sound, the hidden becomes known. The temple is simple, yet it feels vast. The stones are warm with memory. The air carries the faint scent of laurel, of earth that has held offerings for centuries. Candles flicker in carved bowls, their smoke rising in thin lines, joining the sky as prayer. Somewhere within, a spring flows, its waters murmuring softly against the stone. It is said the spring feeds the oracle's voice, its currents carrying the truth of the god. You drift deeper, drawn by the soft echoes of chanting. Priestesses move quietly, their robes flowing like water. Their hands carry bowls of oil, bundles of laurel leaves, small flames that sway as they walk. Each movement is gentle, measured, like the rhythm of breathing. They are keepers of silence, shaping the air around the oracle, weaving stillness into space. At the center of the temple sits the oracle herself. She is calm, yet the air around her shivers faintly, as if touched by unseen winds. Her seat rests above a hidden chasm where vapors rise from the earth. The ancient ones believed that the breath of the god moved through this place, that Apollo himself spoke in the whisper of the earth. The woman who sat above the chasm was not only herself, but also vessel, harp for a divine song. The oracle is draped in white linen. Her hair is dark, her brow circled with a band of laurel. Her eyes are half closed, as if gazing into a world beyond the world. Her hands rest lightly on her knees, fingers curled like petals. She breathes slowly, deeply. With every breath, her presence grows softer, like mist fading into sky. The priestesses place laurel leaves in her hands. They pour water from the spring into a small bowl. She drinks, her lips touching the rim like a kiss. Then she leans back, her head lifting slowly, her body swaying as though moved by a quiet song. The air thickens. The light bends. A whisper rises, not from her mouth at first, but from the very stones. It is a sound like the wind in trees, like water flowing over pebbles. The temple listens, the earth listens, and then her lips move. The oracle speaks. Her voice is not hurried. It is soft, measured, like words carried from a dream. She speaks in fragments, in images, in shadows of meaning. Her voice drifts like smoke, twisting into forms, then fading again into air. To those who listen, her words are more than words. They are signs. They are mirrors. Each sound she breathes carries many layers. One heart hears caution, another hears promise, another comfort. The divine speaks not to the ears alone, but to the soul that listens. The people wait in silence. Some bow their heads, some close their eyes. They do not interrupt. They do not question. The oracle's whisper is sacred, a thread spun between heaven and earth. Her words paint pictures in the air. She speaks of rivers flowing into the sea, of stars shifting their place in the sky, of seeds breaking open beneath the soil. Each image is a parable. Each image is a guide. For in the world of spirit, the smallest seed contains an entire tree, and the faintest star contains eternity. The oracle continues, her voice neither loud nor soft, but steady, like the heartbeat of the temple itself. Sometimes she grows still, as if listening. Sometimes she sways, as if rocked by a gentle tide. Always her presence is calm, anchored in mystery, wrapped in silence. The priestesses stand nearby. Their faces are serene, their eyes lowered. They too are part of this weaving. Their stillness holds the space. Their devotion steadies the moment, like stones steadying the banks of a river. Through them, the oracle's song is cradled, never broken, never rushed. The oracle's whisper fades slowly. Her lips still, her eyes close. For a moment all is silent. The smoke from the torches curls upward. The spring murmurs softly below. The listeners bow deeply. They have heard enough, for prophecy is not about answers. It is about presence. It is about trust. It is about the sacred act of listening. Now the oracle rests, her body quiet again, her breath steady. The priestesses step forward gently, lifting the laurel from her hands, covering her shoulders with a soft cloth. They place the bowl of water aside. They touch her brow, a blessing of gratitude. The moment passes, but the whisper remains in the air, echoing faintly, like the lingering tone of a bell. Outside, the night deepens. The stars scatter their silver light across the mountain. The wind is cool, soft against your skin. You walk slowly down the stone steps, each step measured, each breath calm. The temple grows smaller behind you, but the memory of its silence follows like a shadow. The oracle's whisper is not bound to stone. It travels with you. It lives in the quiet spaces of the heart. It reminds you that the divine is not far away. It is here, woven into the rustle of leaves, the flow of water, the stillness of breath. As you drift into the night, the stars above seem brighter. They are oracles too, their patterns ancient, their voices steady, their light a prophecy of return. They say, all things move in circles, all endings are beginnings. The sun will rise, the heart will heal, the spirit will endure. Let these whispers rest within you. Let them move gently, like streams beneath the earth, hidden yet sure. No need to chase them, no need to hold them, simply let them be. They will guide you in their own time. Now the mountain is quiet. The temple sleeps. The oracle dreams. Her whisper drifts outward, riding the cool air, settling softly over valleys and seas. It touches you too, like a feather on the skin, like a breath across the heart. Rest now. Rest in the knowing that guidance surrounds you. Rest in the calm of the oracle's voice, echoing gently, forever near. Let us drift onward, into deeper silence, into gentler dreams, into the eternal night of peace. The night grows quiet. The air carries a softness, as though every sound has been wrapped in cloth. Above, the stars move slowly across a darkened sky. Each one is a lantern, small and steady, guiding the dreamer deeper into silence. You find yourself standing before an ancient grove. Tall cypress trees rise in solemn rows, their branches dark against the pale light of the moon. At their roots lies a hidden path, faintly lit by fireflies. This path leads to a place sacred and secret, a place where women once gathered, in shadows and whispers, to honor the veils of the goddess. It is the mystery of Demeter and Persephone, a story carried like breath across centuries, a story of seeds buried, of journeys below, of return and renewal. And as you step gently into the grove, you are drawn into its rhythm, the pulse of life and death, the turning of seasons, the endless circle of return. In the distance stands a temple. It is not grand with marble columns, but simple, built of stone softened by time. Moss climbs the walls, and ivy weaves across its face like threads of green cloth. The doorway is wide and dark, yet welcoming, like the mouth of a cave or the entrance to a dream. Within, women once gathered in silence. No crowds, no armies, no kings. Only the quiet presence of the sacred. They came to learn mysteries not written in books, but spoken through symbols, felt through ritual, whispered in the stillness of night. Each carried a torch, each carried a veil, and each carried within her the seed of the goddess. The goddess was Demeter, mother of harvest. Her breath moved through the fields of grain. Her hands shaped the ripening of fruit. Her tears watered the soil in times of sorrow. To her, the people prayed for bread and abundance. But her story was not only of sunlight and plenty. It was also of loss, of descent, of the quiet grief that makes the heart tremble. For Demeter's daughter, Persephone, once wandered into a meadow of flowers. She bent to pluck a bloom, and the ground opened beneath her. The earth swallowed her gently, as though she were a seed. And so she was carried down into the shadowed halls of the underworld. The meadow above fell silent. The flowers closed. The mother cried out, searching. And so began the sorrow that shapes the wheel of seasons. In the temple, the women told this story with candlelight. The flame flickered across their veils, shadows dancing like soft waves on a midnight sea. One voice spoke, another answered, until the room itself seemed to hum with memory. They spoke of Demeter wandering the earth in grief, how she refused the gifts of the gods until her child was returned, how fields grew barren and the people starved, until the bargain was made. Persephone would rise again, but not forever. She would return to the underworld for part of each year. For part of each year, she would be above, bringing flowers, wheat, and joy. And for part, she would be below, among the shades, queen of quiet realms. The mystery was clear. Life is not endless light nor endless dark. It is the weaving of both. The seed must fall into the soil. The soil must embrace it in shadow. Only then does the green shoot rise. Only then does the harvest come. The women of the mysteries understood. They wrapped their veils around their heads and walked in procession, torches glowing against the night. Each step was slow, each breath measured, as if their bodies themselves mirrored the turning of the seasons. Their eyes lowered, their voices hushed. They carried the secret of the goddess like a lamp within the chest. To be a woman was to know both loss and return. To be a mother was to carry both grief and joy. To be human was to descend, to rise, and to descend again, over and over, like waves on the shore, like the moon that waxes and wanes. In the myths, Persephone was not only taken, she became queen. She learned to walk among shadows without fear. She learned to wear a crown made not of gold, but of silence and dignity. She became both seed and flower, both maiden and sovereign. She was the passage between worlds, the breath that connects what is above and what is below. And in this, she was not unlike the listener drifting now, between waking and sleep, between thought and dream, between light and shadow. Each night is a descent, each morning is a return, and in both there is beauty. Imagine the temple floor. It is scattered with grains of barley, smooth and golden under the touch. The priestess pours a libation, a simple bowl of milk or honey or water. The scent rises faintly, sweet and earthy. A hymn begins, soft, almost like a lullaby. It tells of the soil opening its arms to the seed. It tells of Persephone's footsteps returning through dark passages, carrying the promise of spring. Around you the torches burn low. The smoke curls upward like pale ribbons, twisting toward the rafters, then dissolving into air. Every sound is hushed. The night holds its breath as though it too listens to the tale. In that silence one feels the truth that words can only point toward, that nothing is truly lost, that what goes down will rise again, that even sorrow carries within it the seed of joy, and that the goddess is never far. She is in the earth, in the grain, in the beating of the heart. The women lifted their veils at dawn. The first light touched their faces, soft as a mother's hand. The long night had passed, but what they carried in silence would stay forever. Not written, not carved, but alive in the rhythm of their days. They would go back to their homes, to their families, to their fields, and they would remember, life falls, life rises, life returns. The veils of the goddess are many. One is the dark veil of descent, of going below. Another is the veil of return, thin and golden, glowing with dawn. And there is the veil of silence, the one that cannot be lifted, the one that remains mystery, forever beyond the reach of words. But to rest beneath these veils is peace. To know them is to live gently, without fear of shadow, without clinging to light. For shadow and light are sisters, just as Demeter and Persephone are bound by love. One carries the seed, the other calls it forth. One closes the door, the other opens it again. Now the night deepens once more. The stars gather like pearls across the sky. The temple, the grove, the women with their torches, all drift into mist, soft and distant. What remains is the feeling of the story, like a slow current carrying you further into rest. The goddess walks beside you, her steps gentle, her voice like a whisper in the leaves. She speaks not in commands, but in quiet presence. Her hand lays across the earth, and you feel its steady heartbeat beneath you. Her eyes watch both night and day, both soil and flower. She is with you in every breath, in every rising and falling, in every descent into sleep, and every return to morning. So let the veils fall softly now. Let them wrap around your thoughts like silk. Let them darken your mind in peace as Persephone rests below. And when the time is right, let them lift again as she rises with the spring. Until then, drift in silence. Drift in the rhythm of seed and soil. Drift in the endless return of life. Now rest as the veils of the goddess close around you. Now rest as the stars return to their watch. Now rest as sleep gathers like gentle earth around a seed. Sleep, and let the mystery hold you. Sleep, and let the goddess keep you. Sleep, for the story continues in dreams. The night is calm. The stars above Rome hang like silver dust scattered across velvet. The streets are hushed. The sound of footsteps softened by stone worn smooth with centuries. In the heart of the city, where marble columns rise and shadows gather at their base, a flame still burns. It is no ordinary flame. It does not flicker with the winds of chance. It is the eternal fire of Vesta, the goddess of hearth and home. Guarded by hands both young and steady, this fire is the breath of Rome itself. And those who tend it are not warriors nor senators, but women in white robes, the Vestal virgins, priestesses of the sacred flame. The temple stands like a cradle of silence amid the hum of the city. Its round walls curve softly, shaped like the ancient hearths of simple homes. The roof is open to the sky so that moonlight can pour down, touching the fire with silver glow. Marble columns hold the space, but it is the flame that is the true pillar. It dances in the center, alive, a thread between earth and heaven. The Vestals move quietly within. Their robes are pure white, falling like still water to the floor. Their hair is bound with ribbons, their heads crowned with a simple band. They walk in measured steps, never hurried, as though the rhythm of their bodies is tied to the breathing of the flame itself. Their task is simple, yet infinite. They guard the fire so it never dies. By day, by night, in storm, in festival, in war, in peace, always the flame must live. If it were to fall into ash, the heart of Rome would falter, its spirit dimmed. So the priestesses keep vigil, pouring devotion into small acts, adding wood, whispering prayers, watching the embers glow. Each Vestal enters her service as a child, chosen by omen, by fortune, by the eye of the priests. She leaves behind the life of ordinary play, the warmth of family, the path of marriage. She steps instead into silence, into sacred duty, into years stretched like a quiet thread across time. Yet in this choice, she becomes more than herself. She becomes a living symbol, the bridge between Rome's strength and its soul. The flame she guards is not only of Vesta, but of every hearth, every meal shared, every home kept safe. The people look to the fire and see their lives reflected, fragile, flickering yet eternal when cared for. And so the priestesses walk their path, unseen yet central, silent yet powerful. Their vow is one of purity, not as denial, but as devotion, their whole being devoted to flame, to city, to goddess. Picture the temple at dusk. The sky fades to indigo, and the city's noise softens like waves receding. Inside, the torches are lit, casting gentle halos of light along the walls. The flame at the center glows brighter, its warmth felt even in the still air. A Vestal approaches. She kneels, laying fresh wood upon the embers. Sparks rise, dancing upward like tiny stars set free. Her lips move in prayer, though no sound reaches the air. Her prayer is simple, like breath. May the flame endure. May Rome endure. May the hearth endure. Others stand in watch, their eyes steady, their hearts like vessels of calm. They know that in this fire lies balance. Balance between power and tenderness, between empire and spirit, between the outer world and the inner. Stories tell that the Vestals were honored above most. They held seats at games, places of respect at gatherings. Even emperors bowed to their presence. For the fire they carried in small lanterns could bless or curse, could welcome or refuse. It was the empire's light, and their hands kept it alive. Yet beyond honor, their lives were quiet. They rose with the dawn, tended the flame, kept the temple clean, offered simple rituals. They lived apart from the noise of the world, yet the world depended on them. Like stars, they were distant yet essential, silent keepers of balance. And balance is the heart of the flame. For fire can warm or it can consume. It can cradle or it can destroy. In the hearth, it gives life. Unwatched, it takes life away. So too with Rome, with people, with the soul. The flame teaches, tend gently, and all will endure. Imagine yourself sitting by the sacred fire. The crackle is soft, steady, almost like the sound of rain far away. The light glows on your skin, golden and calm. The smoke rises in slow spirals, carrying prayers into the night. The flame itself seems to breathe. It inhales when the wood glows red. It exhales when sparks leap upward. It is alive, yet it asks nothing but care. The Vestal beside you closes her eyes. Her stillness is a prayer in itself. Her presence tells you that silence can be devotion, that a life lived gently is a life lived powerfully. She has given her years to this flame, and in return, the flame has given her peace. Some said the fire was the life of the empire, but to sit here one feels it is more. It is the life of each person. It is the warmth of family, the comfort of shelter, the simple act of sharing bread. It is the quiet promise that even in vastness, even in the endless turning of history, small things endure. A flame in the dark, a meal at a table, a heart at rest. The Vestals carried this truth, veiled in silence, spoken only through ritual. They did not preach. They did not write. They lived the symbol, and by living, they taught. The fire spoke for them. As the night deepens, the temple grows even quieter. The sound of the city fades beyond its walls. Only the flame remains, glowing steady, casting shadows that sway like gentle dancers. The priestesses walk softly, their robes brushing the stone floor. The goddess is present, not in form, but in warmth, in glow, in stillness. The moon glides across the open roof. Its light joins with the flame, silver with gold, night with fire. Together they weave a balance, above and below, cold and warm, silent and alive. This balance is the heart of the mystery. When dawn comes, the city will wake. The markets will fill with sound, the streets with footsteps, the air with calls and songs. Soldiers will march, senators will speak, emperors will decree. But beneath it all, the flame will still burn, tended by hands unseen. The priestesses will still walk their quiet circle day after day, year after year, and Rome will continue, its spirit alive, because the fire endures. So let the flame linger now in your own thoughts. Let its glow warm the space of your rest. Let its smoke rise gently, carrying away the weight of the day. Like the Vestals, you too carry a flame within. It is your breath, steady and calm. It is your heart, beating softly. It is the spark of life that endures, no matter the shadows. Now drift with the flame. Drift with its slow rhythm. Drift as its light fades into the softness of dream. The Vestals keep watch. The fire remains. You are safe within its glow. Rest now as the sacred flame endures. Rest as the stars return to their silent watch. Rest as night becomes gentle hearth. The fire is eternal, and so is peace. The desert is quiet. The horizon stretches wide, a line between golden earth and endless sky. At night, the sand cools, holding the memory of the day's sun. The wind whispers over dunes, smoothing them like gentle hands. Above, the stars shine clear, so many that the sky feels like a woven cloth of light. In this stillness, a story drifts. The story of the desert mother. She's not bound to one temple or one city. She is older, more fluid, carried in memory across tribes and tongues. Her presence is felt in water found at dawn, in shade beneath palms, in the hush of night when the earth cools again. She is the mother of the sands, and her gifts are shelter, water, and wisdom. Imagine a caravan moving slowly across the dunes. The camels step with care, leaving prints that the wind will soon erase. The traveler's eyes search the horizon for signs of green, for the glimmer of an oasis. They carry their lives on their backs, jars of water, woven cloth, songs carried in memory. Among them mothers whisper old prayers. Fathers hum steady chants, guiding steps. Children gaze upward, counting stars as though they are lamps leading the way. And though the desert feels vast and unending, they do not walk alone. They believe the desert mother moves with them. Her presence is unseen but certain. She is the coolness in the air before dawn. She is the palm tree rising like a guardian in the distance. She is the small spring bubbling clear from the earth when all seemed dry. She is the dream that tells a weary traveler to walk a little farther, to wait a little longer, to trust. In the oldest songs, she was known by many names. Some called her Alat, the goddess of refuge. Others saw her as a form of Hathor, bringing joy and milk. Still others linked her to Isis, wandering with wisdom across the lands. But to those who walked the desert, names mattered less than presence. What mattered was her shelter, her promise that life could endure even in the harshest place. Her symbol was often the tree. the date palm, tall and giving. From the tree came shade, fruit, and wood. It rooted deep in hidden water, teaching those who saw it that life can thrive even where all seems barren. The Desert Mother was like that tree, quiet, strong, deeply rooted in mystery. Another of her symbols was water, a small pool, still and shining in the sand. For nomads, to find water was to find life. To drink was to be renewed. And so every spring was sacred, every well a shrine. At each, offerings were given, a cloth, a bead, a prayer, so that the Desert Mother would continue to bless the journey. Picture now a night at the oasis. The fires are small, built of gathered twigs. The air is cool, touched by the scent of palm leaves. The stars are mirrored in the still water. Travelers sit close together. Stories are told in soft voices, carrying not only history but hope. And somewhere among the whispers, the Desert Mother is invoked. Her name is spoken with gratitude. Her presence is felt in the rest that comes after a long day's march. For here water flows. Here the sand gives way to life. Here there is shelter beneath the wide arms of the trees. One tale tells of a woman who wandered with her child through the desert, nearly overcome by thirst. She prayed to the Mother of the Sands, and at her feet water began to flow. The child drank, and his laughter rang like bells. From that moment the spring never dried, and those who passed by named it sacred, for it was said the Desert Mother herself had opened the earth with compassion. Another tale tells of nomads lost in a sandstorm. They could not see the stars, nor hear one another's calls. In the storm a figure appeared, a woman cloaked in flowing robes, her face veiled but her hands outstretched. She walked before them, and they followed. When the storm cleared, they found themselves at the edge of an oasis. When they looked again, the woman was gone, her footprints already erased by the wind. They knew then who had guided them. To walk with the Desert Mother is to understand both fragility and strength. The desert teaches that life is precious. Every drop of water, every moment of shade, every grain of food, all are treasured. And yet, those who endure the desert learn to be strong, to bend like the reed, to last like the palm, to shine like the star. The Mother teaches not by words, but by silence, not by temples, but by vastness. Her wisdom is written in the dunes that shift, in the winds that rise and fall, in the stars that return each night without fail. She whispers, "Nothing is forever lost." Even in dryness there is hidden water. Even in silence there is guidance. Even in wandering there is a path. Imagine lying beneath the desert sky. The sand is cool now, like silk beneath your hands. The night air is still, carrying only the faintest song of insects. Above, the stars wheel slowly, steady in their endless dance. You feel small, yet cared for. The vastness does not frighten, for it holds you gently. The stars are not distant but close, lamps placed by the Mother to guide your rest. Her cloak is the sky itself, her arms the horizon, her breath the cool wind that moves over the dunes. She has walked with countless travelers, carried countless prayers, offered countless springs. And now she walks with you? The tribes once said, "Every hearth fire comes from her flame." Even far from the desert, in homes of clay or stone, the warmth of the hearth was her gift. For the desert fire too is sacred. It keeps away the cold, cooks the meal, draws people together. The Desert Mother's fire is not like the raging fire of war. It is like the ember, steady and soft, a flame of care. When nomads moved on, they carried her fire in coals wrapped safe. From these coals, new fires were lit, and the journey continued. Thus her presence stretched far, carried from camp to camp, from family to family. The Desert Mother also watched over dreams. In the stillness of night, when the fire burned low and the stars turned slowly, dreams were believed to carry her messages. A dream of water meant relief ahead. A dream of shade meant safety near. A dream of endless dunes was a warning to turn, to change the path. Travelers listened closely, for in the desert, dreams could save. So too tonight, as you drift, she may guide your dreams. She may carry you to places of cool water, of green palms, of gentle winds. She may soothe you with the song of shifting sands, and in her quiet way, she may bless your rest. In the end, the Desert Mother's gift is balance. She reminds her children that even in harshness, there is beauty. Even in scarcity, there is abundance. Even in endless wandering, there is always home. The home found in water, in shade, in one another. To honor her is simple. Drink water with gratitude. Sit in shade with peace. Walk gently upon the sand, knowing it remembers each step. even as the wind erases it. Now let us rest with her beneath the desert sky. Feel the sand cooling, the air stilling, the stars shining steady. Feel her presence, vast and gentle, surrounding you like a mother's cloak. She guards your path, your rest, your dream. She is the spring in the dry place, the tree in the emptiness, the flame in the dark. Let the winds hush. Let the stars cradle you. Let the desert mother's wisdom be the bed beneath your soul. Now drift onward. As the stars return, as the dunes fold into dream, as night carries you gently, like a child in the arms of the eternal desert. Night falls gently over the ancient island of Crete. The Aegean Sea sighs against the rocky shore, a rhythm as old as memory. Moonlight spills across olive groves and white stone houses, soft as a silver veil. From distant hills, the low sound of flutes drifts, like wind woven into music. In the center of the island lies a palace of many halls and winding passages. Its walls are painted with flowers, with dolphins leaping, with women crowned in coils of hair. Among these painted figures, one stands out again and again, a woman with wide, steady eyes. In her hands, she holds two serpents. They rise from her palms, curling upward, alive with mystery. This is the snake goddess,
Keeper of life,
guardian of renewal, voice of the serpent's song. The people of Crete once honored her in quiet courtyards and open fields. They placed offerings of milk, honey, and oil in clay jars. They sang beneath the moon. They called upon her when crops needed rain, when families sought blessing, when the old year faded and the new began. The serpent, which others feared, she embraced. For to her it was not a threat, but a teacher. The snake sheds its skin, leaving behind what is no longer needed. From this the goddess spoke. Life is not ended. It is renewed. Fear becomes wisdom. Loss becomes opening. What is shed becomes space for growth. Imagine a garden at twilight. The air is warm, touched with the scent of figs and herbs. The soil holds hidden springs, feeding green vines. There, among stones, serpents glide quietly. They are not violent. They are not cruel. They move like rivers of shadow, carrying an old wisdom in their silent dance. The snake goddess stands among them. Her feet are bare against the earth. Her skirts ripple with color. In her eyes a calm fire glows. She bends and two serpents rise into her hands, curling as if they know her well. Her gaze is steady. Her breath is slow. Her presence is not fear, but safety. Those who saw her in vision said her song was soft, almost like the hush of leaves. It was the serpent's song, a hymn of change and trust. It whispered of hidden rivers beneath dry soil. It promised that endings would always give birth to beginnings. The myths tell of a time when a farmer, weary from drought, dreamed of her. He saw the snake goddess walking in his barren field. She touched the earth with her staff, and serpents flowed out, winding across the cracks. Where they passed, green shoots rose again, the soil alive with hidden water. When he woke, clouds gathered, and rain came at last. From that day, he poured milk at the base of his olive trees, whispering thanks to her. Another tale tells of a woman in grief who had lost her child. In her sorrow, she feared the serpent, for its hiss echoed her pain. But in sleep, she saw the goddess lift a serpent and hold it to her heart. It shed its skin in her hands, leaving behind the old, emerging in shining newness. The goddess spoke without words, only through the shimmer of moonlight on scales. What is not lost forever. Life moves in circles. Love returns in forms unseen. The woman woke with tears that felt lighter. Her grief did not vanish, but it began to soften, like stone worn smooth by water. The serpent's song is the song of renewal. It teaches that all living things move in cycles. The moon waxes, then wanes, then grows again. The seasons fade, then return. The body weakens, but the spirit continues, reshaping like the snake in its new skin. To hear this song is to feel safe in change. It is to know that fear is only the shadow before dawn. It is to rest in trust that even what falls away may give birth to what is needed. Now picture a temple courtyard, open to the sky. Torches burn low, their flames bending in the breeze. Women in long skirts circle slowly, stepping to the beat of a drum. The drum is deep, steady as a heartbeat. In their hands, some hold small snakes, harmless and calm. The serpents move with them, gliding in rhythm as if part of the dance. In the center, a priestess lifts her arms. Her bracelets glimmer. Her eyes are steady. She calls upon the snake goddess, whose presence is felt in the cool night air. And as the circle turns, the people are reminded. Life moves like the serpent, always shedding, always flowing, always beginning again. The night deepens, the torches fade. Only the stars remain, quiet witnesses to the song. To walk with the serpent goddess is to walk unafraid of transformation. She teaches that the past can be released, that wounds may heal, that what once felt frightening may become the very source of wisdom. Her image was carved into small clay figures, placed in homes. Mothers prayed before her when their children were sick. Fathers asked her blessing for their harvest. Travelers carried her token for protection on winding paths. Each believed that as long as her serpents coiled upward, life would continue, renewed and sustained. The serpent, too, became a guide in dreams. To dream of a snake shedding skin was to know change was near. To dream of a snake drinking from water was to know healing was at hand. To dream of many snakes winding together was to know the goddess herself was near, weaving her blessings in silence. Dreams were not feared, but welcomed, for they were her whispers. Her voice was not loud, not commanding. It was soft, like the rustle of scales on earth, like water moving under stone. Even now, when one lies beneath the night sky, the serpent's song can be felt. The slow rhythm of breath is like the serpent's glide. The gentle turning of thoughts, the release of the day, is like the shedding of skin. Fear falls away. Tension loosens. The soul begins again, lighter, renewed. To rest in her presence is to trust that all is unfolding as it must. The past is left behind. The new is already being born. And in the silence, wisdom grows. Imagine now that you drift through a quiet chamber in the palace of Knossos. The walls are cool stone. The air carries the scent of oil lamps. Before you stands her image, the snake goddess, hands lifted, serpents rising. Her gaze is calm. Her smile is faint, like moonlight on water. You feel no fear. You feel only stillness. The serpents seem alive, yet peaceful, their coils gentle, their eyes shining like stars. In this presence, you know you are safe. You know that what has been heavy can be shed. You know that renewal is already near. The serpent's song hums all around you, softer than words. It carries you like a tide, lifting you toward rest. The snake goddess is not a goddess of terror. She is a goddess of change, of life flowing forward. She reminds her children that fear may be transformed into wisdom, just as the serpent transforms by shedding what no longer belongs. Her temple is not only stone, it is every place where life renews. A tree budding in spring, a river carving a new path, a child taking first steps, a heart learning to love again. Her song is everywhere. It is the song of cycles, of endings that become beginnings, of rest that becomes awakening. And so, as night deepens, let us rest with her. Feel the body soften as if shedding its weight. Feel the breath flow gently, like a serpent gliding across sand. Feel the mind ease like old skin slipping away. The serpent's song surrounds you. It is calm, it is steady, it is endless. Now drift onward. As the moonlight fades into dream, as the serpents coil gently in silence, as wisdom rises, soft as dawn within you, rest now as the stars return. The serpent's song cradles you. Fear has turned to peace. The night carries you safely until the morning comes. Night gathers gently across the northern lands. The forests breathe beneath the weight of stars. Mist curls low along the earth, silvered by the glow of the moon. Leaves whisper softly, stirred by winds that carry the scent of pine and damp moss. Here, in the deep quiet of the woods, the Celtic dream weavers begin their work. They are women of song and shadow, of herb and firelight. Their voices rise not in thunder but in hush. Their hands touch not with power but with care. They are keepers of healing, guardians of dreams, watchers of the moonlit path. By the rivers of the north, where water winds like glass over stones, the dream weavers gather. They bring bundles of herbs, mugwort, lavender, sage. They grind them in bowls of stone, their rhythm steady, like the heartbeat of the earth. Smoke drifts upward as the herbs are laid upon embers. The scent fills the air, soft and sweet, wrapping around the night like a blanket. Their chants rise with the smoke. The words are old, older than the tribes, older than the stones carved with spirals. The chants are not shouted. They are whispered, carried by breath. So light they seem like the murmuring of the river. It is said the chants guide the soul into safe places of dream. A woman lies beside the fire, her eyes heavy with sleep. She has come for healing, for her nights have been troubled by visions of fear. The dream weavers place herbs beneath her pillow. They weave cords of wool, binding knots of protection. They trace circles in the air above her forehead, marking paths for her spirit to follow. Slowly, her breath deepens. Her body softens, sinking into the earth. The chant moves with her, like a lullaby woven from leaf and flame. She drifts into dreams not of shadow but of light. There she sees a meadow bathed in moonlight, where deer walk without fear and rivers sing. She sleeps, safe within the dream the women have woven for her. The forest holds many secrets, and the dream weavers know them well. They know the roots that heal wounds. They know the flowers that soothe pain. They know the leaves that bring rest to a weary traveler. But more than herbs, they know symbols. To them, the moon is not only a light in the sky, it is a mirror of the spirit. Its waxing and waning mark the rhythm of life. Full moon, bright and whole, brings clarity. New moon, hidden and dark, brings rest. They weave these phases into their chants so that dreamers may follow the moon's path within. They draw spirals on the ground, circles within circles. The spiral is the path of the soul, always turning, always moving, yet always returning to the center. When one sleeps within the spiral, it is said the spirit may wander safely, always finding its way home. One story tells of a child who feared the night. Each time darkness fell, she wept, for shadows filled her mind. Her mother brought her to the dream weavers. They placed a small charm around her neck, woven of silver thread and oak leaves. They sang to her under the waxing moon. That night the child dreamed not of fear, but of white birds flying across the sky. She woke smiling, the charm warm against her skin. From then on, the night became her friend. The dream weavers were not only healers of sleep, they were guides of vision. When chieftains sought answers, they came to the forest. When warriors returned from battle, restless and haunted, they came as well. The women would sit them by the fire, give them herbs to calm their blood and chant. The men would fall into dream, and in dream they would see symbols. A stag at the edge of the woods, a river rising, a star burning bright. From these the dream weavers spoke wisdom. The stag calls you to patience. The river warns of change. The star reminds you of destiny. In this way, the tribe was guided, not by swords, but by dreams. Picture now a circle of stones, tall and silent, rising against the horizon. At midsummer, the sun slips between them, bathing the ground in golden fire. At midwinter, the moon hangs above, casting silver light. Here, too, the dream weavers come, for the stones are said to hold the memory of the earth. They sit among them, weaving chants with the rhythm of the wind. The dreams that come in such places are deep, like rivers that flow beneath the roots of the world. Their gift was not always understood. Some feared them, for they walked between waking and dream. But to those who trusted, their presence was gentle. They never forced. They only guided. Like the moonlight, they touched without burning. Like the river, they carried without binding. Imagine yourself lying beside their fire. The ground is soft with moss. The stars shine through the canopy of trees. A woman places lavender near your pillow. Another hums a song that seems older than language. Your breath slows. The air is warm with smoke and herb. Your eyelids grow heavy. You feel yourself sinking, not into fear but into safety. You drift into dream, and in dream, you walk through a meadow of silver grass. The moon is above you, full and bright. A spiral glows on the earth, and you step into it. Each turn brings calm. Each turn brings light. At the center, you find stillness. At the center, you find peace. The Celtic dream weavers remind us that night is not an enemy. It is a friend. It is a time for healing, for seeing what cannot be seen in day. It is a path of renewal, where spirit and body rest, where visions rise like stars. They teach that the mind is like the forest. It holds shadows but also clearings. It holds silence but also song. And with the right chant, the right symbol, the right dream, it becomes a place of comfort. Their voices fade into the night. The fire burns low. Smoke rises, carrying whispers to the sky. The forest grows still, except for the soft sound of an owl's wings. The dream weavers close their eyes, resting beside the sleepers they have guided, and now you too are carried in their circle. The herbs are near. The chants are around you. The moon is above. Your spirit drifts, safe in the spiral of dream. The night deepens. The stars turn slowly. The river flows on, its song steady and calm. Sleep is no longer distant. It has arrived, soft as moss, sure as moonlight. Let the Celtic dream weavers guard you now. Let their chants surround you. Let their herbs soothe you. Let their symbols guide you. Drift onward, into dreams of safety, into visions of light, into the spiral that always leads home. Now rest, as the stars return. The night folds gently around the earth. The stars rest above, scattered like grains of salt upon a velvet cloth. The air is still, yet tender with the memory of old voices. You walk softly as if on sacred ground, through a corridor of stone and shadow. In this place, statues wait. They have waited for centuries. Silent, patient, still. Their faces are worn smooth by wind, by rain, by the brush of countless seasons. Yet even in silence they seem alive. Their eyes do not see, yet they gaze. Their lips do not move, yet they whisper. Each stone form holds a story, buried like seeds in the soil of time. Breathe gently as you stand before them. Feel the stillness that wraps around their forms, like a cloak of eternity. Long ago, when torches burned and chants rose into the night, these statues stood in temples. Hands carved them with devotion. Prayers poured into their stone. Every curve, every line was shaped with belief. Not just tools of worship, but vessels of longing. People came to them in sorrow. People came to them in joy. People came with questions and with gratitude. Now the voices are gone. The fires have cooled. The temples are only fragments. Yet the statues remain. And in their silence they speak even more. One statue carries the shape of a woman, though time has softened her face. She once was the mother, the giver of grain, the keeper of the hearth. Her hands are broken now, but the curve of her form suggests care, suggests shelter. In her presence, you feel the memory of bread, of fields golden with harvest, of a fire glowing at dusk. Another statue rises tall, his shoulders broad, his posture strong. The god of the hunt, perhaps, or of courage. His spear is gone, his features faded, but the air around him is steady, like the rhythm of a heartbeat. You feel the echo of drums. You feel the strength of those who stood before him, asking for bravery, for victory, for light in the dark forest. The statues do not speak with words. Their voices are carved in silence. The silence of stone is older than language, older than song. It is the silence of the mountains, the silence of the sea when no wind moves, the silence of deep sleep. Stand before them and listen. Their whispers move like water beneath the ground. They say, "What is gone is not lost. What is silent still remembers. What is forgotten still breathes." A small figure sits lower, almost hidden near the base of the temple wall. A child statue, her head tilted upward, her eyes wide with wonder. Perhaps she was once a symbol of innocence, of the new beginning, of dawn rising. Even now her presence softens the air. She reminds you of beginnings that never end, of cycles that turn quietly, like the wheel of the moon. The statues, though silent, carry time like a river carries stones. Every season that touched them remains within. Snow fell upon their shoulders, rain washed their faces, sunlight kissed their crowns. Night after night they have stood beneath the stars. Imagine their stillness, centuries of waiting. No movement, no speech, yet never empty. They hold the devotion of countless souls who once knelt, who once sang, who once placed flowers at their feet. Even as the petals turn to dust, the memory lingers in the stone. There is something soothing in their stillness, something you feel in your own body now. As if you too are a statue of breath and bone, still, quiet, present. Your heartbeat slows. Your breath flows gently like water around a stone in a quiet stream. The silence of the statues enters you, wraps you, holds you. It teaches that stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is fullness, a fullness so deep it does not need words. Some statues are broken, their faces gone, their forms half buried in earth. Yet even the fragments sing. A hand, a foot, a wing, each piece still carries meaning. Nothing is truly gone. Even in ruin, beauty remains. Even in silence, devotion endures. You feel the truth in this. In your own life, there are broken pieces, moments forgotten, moments lost. Yet even those fragments carry light. Even what is broken can shine softly in the quiet. The night deepens. The statues seem to glow in the pale wash of moonlight. They do not ask for offerings now. They ask only for your presence. To stand near them, to breathe, to remember. And as you breathe, you begin to hear their song. It is not with sound, but with stillness. A hymn of silence, a song without words. The song says, "Rest is sacred, silence is prayer, patience is devotion." Every breath you take is a statue of life, rising, falling, steady, eternal. Imagine yourself carved in stone. Not cold, not heavy, but calm. Your body at rest, your spirit still. You do not need to move, for movement is within the breath. You do not need to speak, for silence is a greater voice. You do not need to hold, for time itself holds you. Like the statues, you belong to eternity. Like the statues, you are safe. In the distance, an owl calls. Its voice is soft, drifting through the night air. It does not break the silence, it joins it. Like the stars joining the sky. Like dreams joining sleep. The statues do not move, yet they seem to bow with the sound, as if the owl is their companion, their messenger, as if nature itself still worships at their feet. And so you linger, wrapped in this ancient presence. Stone and silence, moonlight and shadow. Nothing stirs but the breath of night. Nothing moves but the flow of dreams. The statues teach that time is gentle, that silence is not absence, but presence, that devotion never dies, only changes shape. They remind you that within your own stillness lies strength. Within your quiet lies wisdom. Let the statues fade now into the dark. Let their whispers sink deep into your being. You carry them with you as you drift. You carry their silence. You carry their patience. You carry their song without sound. Close your eyes more deeply. Let yourself rest, like stone beneath the moon. Let the night carve peace into your heart, and let the silent statues guard your dreams. Now drift onward, into quiet rest, as the stars return. Night rests gently upon the forest. The air is cool, filled with the scent of moss and pine. A pale moon leans low, its silver light streaming softly through the branches. The leaves shimmer, as if whispering secrets to the wind. All around, shadows stretch like calm water pooling in the spaces between trees. Here lies the sacred grove, a place where time moves slowly, where silence is not empty, but full. The earth itself seems to breathe, deep and steady like a mother holding her child. It is here that the dancers gather, women of the tribe, keepers of rhythm, bearers of memory. They come quietly, their steps soft on the forest floor, bare feet touch soil with reverence, as though each step is an offering. The grove is circled with tall oaks, guardians of the night. Their roots twist like sleeping serpents beneath the ground. Their branches weave high above, forming a cathedral of leaves and stars. The moonlight filters down through this canopy, broken into streams of silver, falling like veils upon the waiting circle. The women enter slowly, as though drawn by an unseen song. No drum beats yet, no flute calls, yet already there is rhythm. The rhythm lives in their breath. It lives in the pulse beneath their skin. It lives in the hush of the wind. Each woman carries with her something unseen, a prayer, a memory, a quiet hope. Tonight, they will weave these together, binding earth to sky through the motion of their bodies. At first they stand still. Their eyes lift toward the stars, their palms open as if to catch moonlight. In that silence, you feel the world listening. Even the owl pauses in its flight. Even the stream nearby softens its song. Then slowly, the first step is taken. A foot slides gently over earth. A hand rises like a leaf reaching toward dawn. The circle begins, one step, then another. A rhythm born not of noise, but of movement. A pulse that echoes the beating of the heart. The dancers sway, their shadows bending with them, as though the trees themselves join in. The circle widens, then tightens. Their feet press into the ground, offering themselves to the soil, while their hands lift upward, drawing down the light of the stars. This is prayer without words. This is song without sound. The body becomes the hymn. The circle becomes the altar. Each turn, each sway, is part of a greater design. Though the women may not speak, their bodies speak in harmony. The dance tells of rain falling, of wheat rising, of children born, of rivers flowing without end. Now the rhythm deepens. The soft drum is touched. Its sound is low, steady, like the heartbeat of the earth. It does not disturb the night. It joins it. The drum is the voice of soil and stone. Another woman lifts a flute to her lips. The note is long and gentle, like wind sliding through hollow wood. It rises to the stars and falls again to earth, binding the circle in its embrace. The dancers move in answer to these sounds. Each gesture ripples through the grove as if the very air is a fabric they are weaving. Step by step, they shape prayer. Turn by turn, they offer devotion. The grove glows now, alive with rhythm. Moonlight seems brighter. The stars seem nearer. The air is thick with presence, as though unseen eyes are watching with kindness. The dance is not for display. It is not for the world to see. It is for the bond between what is above and what is below. between the deep roots of the earth and the endless light of the sky, between the breath of the living and the stillness of those long gone. Every step presses the earth awake. Every hand lifted gathers starlight like water in a vessel. The circle is a bridge that cannot be seen but can always be felt. Among the dancers one moves with age, her hair silver, her body slower than the rest. Yet her steps are steady, her gestures clear as water. She carries the memory of many nights, many circles beneath many moons. Beside her, a young girl dances, her first time in the sacred grove. Her movements are light, her eyes wide with wonder. She carries the promise of what will be. Together they move, old and young, past and future woven into the same rhythm. The circle holds all ages, all times, all stories. The dance grows slower now. The drum softens, like a heart sinking into rest. The flute fades, like wind passing into silence. The circle moves as one body, each dancer swaying gently, their steps like the turning of a wheel, round and round, slower and slower, until even the shadows seem to sigh. The women's breath rises together, soft clouds in the moonlight. Their arms lift, then lower. Their steps draw smaller, like ripples fading into still water. The dance ends where it began, in silence. Only the forest speaks now. A leaf falls, a night bird stirs, the earth breathes. Yet though the dance has ended, the prayer remains. It lingers in the air like incense. It lingers in the soil like seeds. It lingers in the stars like memory. The grove is quiet once more, but it is not the same silence as before. It is deeper, fuller, as though the dance has opened a hidden door. And through that door, light flows without end. The dancers bow their heads. They leave the circle slowly, their steps as gentle as when they came. No words are spoken. None are needed. The prayer has been made. The bond has been woven. Earth and sky rest together in peace. Now imagine yourself standing in the grove. The air cool around you, the moon silver upon your skin. You feel the rhythm still echoing, not in the air, but in your body. Your heartbeat is the drum. Your breath is the flute. Your stillness is the dance. You are part of the circle, even as you rest. You belong to the prayer, even as you drift into sleep. Let the grove fade now. Let the dancers dissolve into the shadows. Let the rhythm sink into silence. The trees stand tall above you. The stars spread their veil of peace. Breathe softly. Feel the earth beneath you, steady and kind. Feel the sky above you, endless and gentle. You are the bridge between them. You are the circle. You are the prayer. Now let go. Let the sacred grove slip into dream. Let the dancers move on into memory. Rest as the stars return. Drift onward into quiet sleep, where rhythm becomes dream and dream becomes light. Night falls like a slow tide, rolling gently over the quiet world. The last embers of sunset fade into violet dusk. Above, the stars begin to shine, small lanterns kindled in the endless sky. The air is still, as though waiting, as though listening. Far away, in the shadow of ancient hills, a temple glows with a soft golden light. Its walls are worn by time, its stones warm from the touch of countless hands. Here, in the silence between night and dawn, dwells the keeper of dreams. She is not a queen, nor a priestess crowned with jewels. Her power is gentler, quieter. She tends not to armies, but to the hidden journeys of the soul. Her duty is to guard the threshold between waking and sleep, between the breath of the body and the wandering of the spirit. Many come to her in the still hours, travelers with weary hearts, mothers heavy with worry, children frightened by shadows. They do not seek answers, only rest. They come not for visions, but for the simple gift of safe passage into sleep. The temple is small, a circle of stone surrounded by tall cypress trees. A single flame burns in its heart, flickering gently like the breath of a child. Its smoke rises upward, carrying prayers unseen. The keeper waits by this fire. Her robes are soft, the color of midnight. Her hair falls loose, touched by moonlight. She does not speak loudly, nor command with force. Her voice is low, like water running over smooth stones. With her hands, she prepares the night. She lights sticks of incense, their smoke curling in silver threads. The air grows sweet with cedar and myrrh. She stirs bowls of herbs, lavender for calm, poppy for surrender, sage for clearing the restless mind. Those who seek her care lie down upon woven mats. They close their eyes. They breathe deeply, and slowly their burdens begin to loosen. The keeper walks among them, her steps soundless on the stone floor. She whispers prayers that no ear needs to catch. Her words are like feathers drifting through the air, not heavy enough to be held, yet soft enough to touch the heart. Around her, the chanting begins. It is low at first, a single hum, deep and steady as the pulse of the earth. Then others join, their voices weaving together, a blanket of sound drawn gently over the resting ones. The chant has no sharp edges, no sudden turns. It moves in circles, like ripples widening across still water. In this sound, the threshold opens. The restless mind quiets. The eyes grow heavy. The spirit begins to drift. It is said that in these moments the keeper guides the dreamer. She does not choose their visions, but she guards the path. She stands at the edge of the dream world, holding a lantern that never goes out, so that no soul wanders lost, so that every traveler may return with the dawn. The ancients believed that dreams were more than illusions. They were rivers flowing between worlds. One side touched the earth, where the body lay in stillness. The other side touched the mystery, where spirits spoke in symbols and signs. To cross this river was not simple. One could be carried too far or troubled by storms of the mind. But with the keeper watching, the river grew calm. The dreamer floated easily, as though held by unseen hands. There are stories told of her power. It is said she could soothe a soldier, so that even after battle, his dreams were clear of terror. It is said she could guide a mother's spirit, so that she met her lost child in sleep and held them once more, if only for the span of a dream. It is said she could whisper to a child's heart, turning nightmares into gardens, where fear melted like frost in the morning sun. Yet her power was never loud. It was not lightning or fire. It was the hush of night, the gentle unfolding of rest. It was the unseen gift of letting the spirit breathe. Within the temple, the chant deepens. The fire glows brighter. Shadows sway like dancers on the walls. The resting ones slip further into the arms of sleep. Their breaths rise and fall, a chorus of tides within the circle. The keeper sits beside them. She closes her own eyes. Her hands rest upon her knees. And she too drifts, not into forgetful slumber, but into a space between. A space where she can walk unseen, a watcher of dreams. She steps softly through their visions. She brushes away the storm. She clears the tangled path. She lights lanterns where the way grows dark. Always she is near, though never seen. And when dawn begins to stir, when the first light touches the temple walls, she guides each soul back. One by one, their dreams fade into memory. Their eyes open slowly. Their bodies stretch with ease. They rise lighter than before, as though a weight has been lifted. No one speaks much in those early moments. The silence is its own blessing. But in their hearts, they know. They were carried safely through the night. They were held in the gentle hands of the keeper. The temple grows quiet again. The cypress trees stand tall, their branches brushing the morning sky. The flame still burns, steady as ever. The keeper tends it with care, feeding it with herbs and oil, ensuring it never fades. For the dreamers will return night after night. And she will be there, as she always has been, waiting with her lantern, waiting with her song. Now imagine yourself within that circle. The mat's laid out across cool stone, the incense rising sweet and light around you, the low hum of chanting wrapping you in warmth. You breathe slowly, your body loosens, your eyes grow heavy, and you feel the keeper's presence. Gentle, protective, near. You are safe to drift. You are safe to dream. Let the temple grow softer now. Let the chant dissolve into silence. Let the lanterns glow dim until it becomes the glow of the stars. You float in that quiet river, the water carrying you with ease. The keeper stands at the bank, watching, guarding. Her lantern shines, a promise that you will find your way home. Rest now. Rest as the dreams begin to weave themselves around you. Rest as the incense fades into memory. Rest as the stars open their wide and endless sky. The keeper is with you. The night is gentle. The path is clear. Now drift onward into the soft arms of sleep. Now rest as the stars return. The night is still. The stars breathe gently above. The air is cool and quiet, moving through the trees like a sigh. In the distance, a low hum of insects keeps time with the rhythm of the earth. It is here, in this silence, that the old stories rise once more. Long before temples of marble, before towers of stone touched the sky, people walked into the earth itself. They entered the dark mouths of caves, carrying small flames to light the way. The walls were cold and damp, shining with veins of mineral, as though the very body of the world was alive with hidden rivers. In these caves, they carved and painted signs, not of kings or battles, not of wealth or conquest, but of women, of mothers, of wombs and flowing life. The ancients saw the earth as a body. The mountains were her bones. The rivers were her flowing blood. The caves were her veins, her deep and hidden passages. To step inside them was to return, to enter once more the living womb from which all life was born. Upon these sacred walls, they drew simple curves, a widening shape, a circle within a circle, signs that whispered of fertility, of cycles that moved with the moon, of the mystery of birth and renewal. They were not written in words, but in shapes the heart could understand. A breast, a womb, a spiral, symbols of the woman, symbols of the earth. Imagine the quiet of that cave, the soft glow of a torch spilling golden light onto rough stone. Shadows dance like slow-moving spirits. The smoke drifts upward, mingling with the damp breath of the earth. A child rests near the entrance, lulled by the murmur of chants. Elders trace their hands along the wall, feeling the cold surface, marking it with red clay mixed from earth and water. Each stroke is simple, yet heavy with meaning. In the silence of the cave, the womb of the world is honored. The womb of woman is celebrated. Life itself is named sacred. The people believe that all life flowed through the same great body. The roots of trees drank from her veins. The rivers carved paths like arteries through land. The caves reached deep into her hidden heart. To carve a womb into stone was not only to honor woman, but to remind all that the body was a temple of spirit. The earth's body, the woman's body, the body of every living being, all carried the same divine thread. The cave becomes a dream within a dream. The sound of dripping water echoes like a slow heartbeat. The torchlight flickers, and with it the drawings glow. Circles, spirals, openings, each one a quiet hymn carved into stone. It is said that women led these rituals. They guided the people into the belly of the earth, teaching them to listen to silence, to see not with eyes, but with the inner vision of the soul. Here, fear had no voice. Here, shadows became friends. Here, the people felt held, as though lying again in the warmth of the womb. The ancients knew what the modern heart forgets, that the body is not separate from the earth, that every breath is shared with trees, that every drop of water has traveled through rivers, through clouds, through veins of stone, that within the body of woman the same mystery flows, the mystery of creation, of beginnings unseen. The caves taught them this truth. Each symbol carved into stone was a prayer to remember, a prayer that life itself is holy, that the body, though fragile, is the dwelling place of spirit. Close your eyes now. See yourself walking into such a cave, the air cool against your skin, the ground firm beneath your feet, the flame in your hand small yet steady. You follow the narrow passage. It winds gently like a river of stone. Each step brings you deeper, farther from the world of noise. Here there is only breath, only silence, only the slow pulse of the earth. At last you reach the chamber. It opens wide like a hidden heart. The walls curve around you, shaped as though carved by gentle hands. On every surface symbols glow in the shifting light. Circles, spirals, openings, the marks of women, the marks of life. You sit upon the stone floor. You listen. Drip! Drip! The sound of water falling, steady and calm. It is as though you sit inside a great body, hearing its slow heartbeat. Your own body mirrors it. Your breath rises and falls. Your chest expands and softens. The rhythm of the earth and the rhythm of your body become one. The cave, the womb, the body, all are the same. All are sacred. The ancients believed that when people slept in these caves, their dreams were blessed. The earth whispered to them in symbols. The spirits of their mothers watched over them in rest, and when they woke, they carried the peace of the womb with them, back into the bright world of day. Perhaps this is why the symbols remain. Though time has washed away so many voices, so many names, these carvings still speak. They are veins of memory. They are the breath of the earth. They remind us still that the body is holy, that life itself is a gift. Let the torchlight fade now. Let the cave grow dark. Let the silence deepen until it feels like the embrace of a mother's arms. You rest within the veins of the earth. You rest within the temple of life. The symbols linger like gentle dreams, etched not only into stone, but into your heart. The night waits quietly above. The stars shimmer like drops of silver upon the sky's dark cloth. The cave exhales, a cool breath into the night air. And you too exhale, softly, slowly. resting deeper with each breath. The womb of the earth holds you. The body of life cradles you. The symbols guide you into sleep. Now drift onward, into silence, into peace, into dreams. Now rest as the stars return. The night is wide and gentle. A deep silence spreads across the horizon. The stars glow softly, like tiny lamps hung in the fabric of the sky. A faint wind moves over the land, carrying the scent of earth and water. It is the hour of stillness, the hour when stories breathe again. For as long as memory stretches, people have spoken of her. The divine feminine. She wears many names, many faces, yet she is always the same light. Sometimes she is the mother of all. Sometimes she is the maiden of spring. Sometimes she is the wise one, the keeper of endings and beginnings. Her form has shifted with time. Her voice has changed with tongue and song, yet her presence has never left. She is the thread that runs through the loom of all cultures, the eternal return, the endless circle. In the East, she was seen as the river that nourished all. Her waters gave grain, her floods brought renewal. To enter her currents was to step into blessing. She was the ever-flowing mother, her arms stretching wide to carry the living world. Far to the west, she was the moon herself, her face waxing and waning, yet always returning. Her silver light watched over harvests, over births, over the quiet journey of sleep. The people lifted their eyes to her, trusting her cycles, trusting her return. In northern lands, she was honored as the earth beneath the snow. The frozen soil held her secrets. Though cold and silent, she was never truly gone. When spring touched her veins, she rose again. Green shoots broke through ice. The goddess returned as she always had, as she always would. In the south, she was flame, the hearth fire, the spark of sun. She warmed the hands of wanderers. She guarded the home at night. She was the light that could never be swallowed, even when the world grew dark. Through all these shapes, one truth remained. The goddess returns. She may vanish behind the veil. She may descend into shadow. She may rest in silence, but she always comes again. Her cycle is the breath of existence. Her rhythm is the promise of life. The ancients told stories to ease the heart. They said the goddess walks away only to teach us patience. She closes her eyes and the world grows quiet. She opens them and life stirs again. Picture her now. She stands at the edge of night, her form gentle, her face calm. Her robe is woven of starlight. Her hair flows like rivers. Her hands are open, empty yet full. She carries no weapon, no crown of pride. She carries only the gift of return. Wherever she walks, the earth answers. The trees lean toward her. The streams quicken their pace. The air grows sweet, as though all of nature sighs in recognition. For some she is memory. For others she is hope. For all she is presence. She is the reminder that nothing truly ends, that every fall leads to rising, that every silence hides a song, that every sleep is a doorway to another dawn. And so the goddess returns. Not once, not twice, but always. Like the tide, like the moon, like breath itself. Close your eyes and feel her near. Her presence is not loud. It does not startle. It is soft, like a hand resting upon your shoulder, like the hush of waves at night, like a mother's voice humming steady and low. She asks for nothing. She demands nothing. She only offers peace. A reminder that all is held. A reminder that the circle continues. The people of old would gather beneath the sky to sing her return. They lit fires on hilltops. They laid flowers at springs. They told stories of her journeys. Some said she walked through death itself to bring life back. Some said she descended into the roots of trees and rose again through blossoms. Some said she turned into light, only to fall once more as rain. No matter the tale, the ending was the same. She returned. She always returned. And in this, the people found comfort. Their own lives mirrored hers. Their struggles rose and fell. Their joys came and went. Their days turned into nights. Yet beneath it all, the rhythm of the goddess remained. The eternal return. The promise that no loss was final. No ending complete. Imagine the circle now. A ring of fire glowing in darkness. A wheel turning slowly through stars. A river that curves and bends, yet always finds its way home. This is her gift. The gift of return. The gift of cycles. The gift of peace. The body holds her rhythm. The heart beats. The lungs rise and fall. Each pulse, each breath is her eternal song. The song of the goddess, living within you. Let this thought rest upon you, like a soft blanket. The goddess is not far. She is within the stars above. She is within the earth below. She is within the breath that moves through you. She is the cycle, the circle, the endless return. And so, there is nothing to fear. Nothing to lose. All that departs returns in another form. All that fades shines again in time. The goddess returns, and through her life continues. The night deepens. The stars shimmer more faintly, as though preparing to yield to dawn. The wind grows slower, its song softer. You drift upon it, safe within the rhythm of return. Rest now. Let the eternal goddess guide your dreams. Let her cycle carry you, like a gentle river, into the quiet beyond thought. There is no ending, only returning. There is no fear, only peace. Now drift onward, into silence, into warmth, into sleep. Now rest as the stars return,